Hello kids, Shubham Mangalam at Little Scholar High School. I am Sangeeta Singh, taking 10th standard, subject English, and the topic to be discussed today is Unit 1, Lesson 1, Attitude is Altitude. In this lesson, you have learnt about a famous personality, Nick Vujicic. He was an Australian young man and now he has become a motivational speaker. So Nick Vujicic was born a torso that is without arms and legs. Despite his disability, he reached great heights and became a successful person. And from his life, we have learned that we should not lose hope. And he has also proved that one's disability cannot prevent one from reaching great heights in their lives. His life is a great source of inspiration to every one of us, and he also inspired millions of people all over the world with his uncrushable spirit, willpower, and determination. Now, let us look at page number 8, vocabulary. So, what is vocabulary? It is a list of words which are used and known by a person. So here we already have learnt about Nick Vujicic and his qualities in this lesson. Now let us see which of these adjectives describe Nick Vujicic. So what are adjectives? They are the describing words. They can describe a person, place, animal or a thing. So which of these adjectives describe Nick Vujicic? Let us see, and we need to tick them here. Positive. So what is positive? If a person is hopeful and confident, he is said to be positive. Negative. If a person is unpleasant, it is negative. Optimistic, a belief that good things will happen in the future is optimistic. And pessimistic is quite opposite to that, believing that worse things will happen in the future is being pessimistic. Generous, if a person is ready to help others or give them pleasure or happiness, he is said to be generous. Nervous, if a person is worried about something, he is nervous. Confident, if a person shows trust in his own abilities, he is said to be confident. Smart, if a person is bright and having intelligence, he is smart. Sociable, if a person maintains friendly relations with others and good relations, he is said to be sociable. Cowardly, a person who lacks courage, and courageous is being brave. Reliable is showing constant quality and performance. Independent is being not depending on others, and dependent is taking the support from others. Obedient, if a person is willing to obey, is said to be obedient. Trusting is belief or believing in one's abilities. Valiant is to be very brave in different situations. Self-centered is if a person pays too much attention to himself so that he doesn't bother about what is happening around him, he is said to be self-centered person. Arrogant is being rude, and sarcastic is being bitter. And quarrelsome, if a person always quarrels with others, he is said to be quarrelsome. Rude is being impolite and rough to others. Creative, if a person is able to create something new, he is said to be creative. Stubborn, a person with strong willpower or strong-willed person is said to be stubborn. If a person is not willing to do anything, he is said to be lazy. And if a person is trying to seem very important, he is said to be pompous. And if a person is able to judge something, he is said to be level-headed. Now, let us look at the adjectives which describe Nick Vujicic. He was positive, he was optimistic, he was confident, he was generous, he was smart, sociable, courageous, he was reliable, he was independent, he was obedient, he was valiant, he was creative, and he was also level-headed. Okay, he was sociable. So, to prove this point, we can say that he moved freely with others and he also maintained good relations with other people by playing football, golf, etc. Now, courageous. To prove that he was courageous, we can take the sentence from the textbook which says, disability did not discourage him. With his great courage, he tried again and again and he achieved success. Now, obedient. He was truly an obedient person because he accepted his unlucky birth. Valiant. So with his bravery, he has reached a great position in his life. He was a very valiant person. Creative. He was truly a creative person. He played golf with a club tucked under his chin, though he had no arms and legs. Okay students, now look at bit 2. we need to tick the word which is nearest in meaning to the word underlined in each sentence. Water sports aren't Nick's only thing. He also plays golf with a club tucked under his chin. So what's the meaning of tucked? Which word is nearest in meaning to tucked? It is kept, pushed, covered or tied. So here tucked means kept. His distraught mother couldn't bring herself to hold him until he was 4 months old. So the word distraught means, is it angry, careless, shy or anxious? Answer is anxious. Third one, despite the risk of bullying, his parents insisted Nick attend mainstream school. Options are discrimination, humiliation, negligence, failure. So here bullying is humiliation or insult. The fourth bit, Nick, who was teased and bullied, had an electric wheelchair for mobility and a team of carers to help him. So here the word mobility means, is it socializing, movement, travel or safety? So mobility stands for movement. So tick movement. Nick managed to pull through to become an international symbol of triumph over adversity. So the options are disability, poverty, difficulties, opposition. So adversity here means difficulties. The challenges in our lives are there to strengthen our convictions. The options are feelings, practices, beliefs, characters. So convictions means beliefs. Okay students, now look at bit 3. Fill in the blanks with the words that match with these descriptions. So here you can see a few words are given in the box. So you have to fill in the blanks with the words which are given in the box. Ashok is a very unpleasant and rude fellow. I don't talk to him. So he is said to be boorish. So such a person with unpleasant person and a rude fellow is said to be boorish. So here we are matching the description with the words. Srinu is very confident, elegant and polite, but sometimes he does not appear to be sincere. So he is said to be suave. Sujata is quiet and calm. She doesn't like to spend time with others. She is interested in her thoughts and feelings, so she is an introvert. Ramesh is very sensitive. He always shows sympathy for people who are suffering. He is said to be compassionate. My neighbor is such a person that he has a feeling of hatred for others. He desires to hurt others' feelings. He is malicious. Now sixth one, my father pays careful attention to every detail. He makes thorough planning for everything in our home. Such a person is said to be meticulous person. He is meticulous. Prem is an extremely unpleasant person. He always tries to offend people and he is obnoxious. My mother is very calm and peaceful. She doesn't get excited or irritated easily. She is placid. Such a person is called placid. Rahul is a very lively and confident person. He enjoys being with his friends. He is said to be an extrovert. Sridhar is always afraid of speaking in the class. He is timid. Okay students, now turn to page number 11, grammar. So we are going to learn about defining and non-defining relative clauses. So before proceeding to this, let us see what is a clause. Can any one of you answer what is a clause? Okay, let me tell you. A clause is a group of words which has its own meaning and clause is a part of a sentence. Now what is a relative clause? A relative clause is a clause which begins with a relative pronoun. And now what is a relative pronoun? A word such as who, which or that is called a relative pronoun. Now relative clauses are of two types, defining relative clause and non-defining relative clause. Now I would like to explain them with two examples. The woman who taught him surfing had been bitten by a shark. You can see here who taught him surfing is underlined. Nick, who was teased and bullied, had an electric wheelchair for mobility. So here who was teased and bullied is underlined. Now look at what difference do you find between these two sentences. In sentence 1, the relative clause defines the woman. So here this is called, who taught him surfing is called relative clause. Here it defines the woman. It is a defining relative clause. So we are defining this. Who taught him surfing? Which woman are we talking about? The woman who taught him surfing. So here this clause defines the woman. Nick, who was teased and bullied, had an electric wheelchair for mobility. So here again, who was teased and bullied is also a relative clause. Now what do you see in sentence 2? The relative clause adds extra information about Nick. Instead of defining a person, here it is providing us or adding some extra information. So it is called as a non-defining relative clause. So a non-defining relative clause is preceded and followed by a comma or a hyphen. Preceded means you find a hyphen before the relative clause and you find a comma or a hyphen after the relative clause. Now you can look at the example. The brave 26-year-old, who is mainly a torso, plays football and golf, swims and surf. So here the relative clause is who is mainly a torso. So you can find a hyphen before it as well as a hyphen after the relative clause. Okay students, now look at the bit 1. Identify some more defining and non-defining relative clauses from the textbook. Nick has a small foot on his left hip which helps him balance and enables him to kick. So it is a defining relative clause. Now let us see how it is a defining relative clause. So which helps him balance and enables him to kick. So this relative clause is defining the small foot of Nick. So it is defining relative clause. Now look at the second one. Nick, who was born in Melbourne, Australia but now lives in Los Angeles. So here who was born in Melbourne, Australia is a relative clause, but it is not defining any person, but it is only providing or adding extra information about Nick. So it is a non-defining relative clause. His mom invented a special plastic device that meant he could hold a pen and pencil. So here the relative clause that meant he could hold a pen and pencil, it defines the plastic device which was invented by his mom. So it is a defining relative clause. When I was 13, I read a newspaper article about a disabled man who had managed to achieve great things and help others. So here the relative clause who had managed to achieve great things and help others, it defines the disabled man. So it is a defining relative clause. Nick's parents made a decision which may have been the best one they could have made for him. So here the relative clause which may have been the best one, it defines the decision. So it is a defining relative clause. Students, now in bit number 2 we need to complete the sentences with defining or non-defining relative clauses. The first one, this is the peaceful place that is liked by every naturalist. So the underlined part that is liked by every naturalist, it defines the place. So it is called as defining relative clause. The Mahaprasthanam is a popular book which I have bought in Hyderabad. So which I have bought in Hyderabad is a relative clause which defines the book. So it is a defining relative clause. Suresh, who is my cousin, has left the school just now. So who is my cousin is a relative clause which is adding only extra information to Suresh, but it is not defining him. So it is a non-defining relative clause. Is this the street where meat is sold? So the clause where meat is sold is defining the street. So it is defining relative clause. The express which runs between Delhi and Chennai has just arrived. So here again the clause which runs between Delhi and Chennai, it is only defining the express. So it is a defining relative clause. Students, now turn to page number 12, writing skills. Here you are going to learn how to write a biographical sketch. So what is biographical sketch? A biographical sketch is an account of the life and the activities of an individual. It includes information about the person's name, place of residence, his education, his occupation, and the activities and other important details of his life. It is usually written by another person. And if a person writes an account of his or her own life, it is called an autobiography. Now let us look at the biographical sketch of the famous person Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking is one of the greatest scientists of the world. He was born on January 8, 1942 at Oxford, England. And the information about his family is, he was the eldest of the 4 sons, and his mother's name was Isobel Hawking and his father's name was Frank Hawking. Frank Hawking was a medical researcher with a specialty in the tropical diseases. Let us look at some of the important events of his life. In the early academic life, initially he was recognized as a bright student in the school, but initially he could not become successful in his life. But in high school years, he was third from the bottom of his class. And some of the pursuits which he had done outside of the school is he loved board games, and he always used to be in a group of friends, and he constructed a computer out of recycled parts, and he also solved some rudimentary mathematical equations at the age of 16. And then he married Jane Wilde, and he was suffering from a prolonged illness which is called as amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, which had weakened his muscles. And in spite of his prolonged illness, he did research on black holes, and he also discovered radiation which is known as Hawking's radiation, which is named after his name. Then he was also honored with several awards, prizes and honors, and he was named as the Fellow of the Royal Society at the age of 32, and he was also honored with the prestigious Albert Einstein Award, and he was also honored with the Pius XI Gold Medal for Science from Pope Paul VI in 1975 for his contribution to the advancement of science and research. Students, I hope all of you have understood the vocabulary and the grammar part which we have discussed today. And now I want all of you to note down today's Sakshi. Classwork is explained lesson 1 page 8 to 12, and homework is revise page 8 to 12.